Today we will talk about means of communication. How can we communicate with each other? While in the past, at the present time, or how can we communicate in the future? Before we start the lesson, let's ask a question or let's play a game or a puzzle. With me in my bag, there is something which we can use to communicate with each other in the past. Who can guess this thing? There is a means of communication in the past inside this bag. Who can guess it? Try to guess. What is in this bag? Malak? What else? Try to guess. Muaz? It's a? It's a telegram. Muhammad? It's a telegram. Ziad? It's a message. In or by what? It's a means of communication, not a message. A phone. Let's look. What is it? It's a message in a bottle. It's a message in a bottle. Sit down. The next question will be how and why people use this kind of things to communicate with each other. Why do people or why did people use this kind of bottles or messages to communicate with each other? They have it. Why? In your opinion, try to guess. Another question. Imagine that you are traveling across the sea on a ship. There isn't any kind of communication. In the past, there weren't any satellite phones, so how can people communicate with each other? They could by using messages in a bottle. Understand? Okay. Now, we will play another puzzle. We have 4 or 5 groups. Each group has to write means of communication they know. You have just 2 minutes to complete your list. Group A, you and you. Group B, Group C, Group D, Group E, Group F. You have just 2 minutes to complete your task. Group 4, discuss with each other.
Questions, then listen and check.
Imagine that you're sailing across the Atlantic Ocean next week. How are you going to contact your family? These days, most people at sea would use a satellite.
How can we communicate with each other by modern time or using modern means?
We use the phone and message, mobile and lists.
Very good. Sit down. What about your list? Very good. What else?
And letters and email.
Very good. Sit down. Clap for you. Now look at the board. There are some pictures for some means of communication. Whether in the past, old methods or modern methods in the present time. Look at the picture. Number 1. Nada. How can we communicate with each other? By
Telegram.
By telegram. How can we communicate with each other? By pigeons. Sit down. Nurhan, how can we communicate? By sending what? By sending emails. Muaz, what about you? In the past, people use, very good, messenger on horses to communicate. Very good, sit down.